Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the COO of Kia Motors Europe, Michael Cole.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Picanto builds on everything that has made the current model so popular, from its youthful design and its engaging handling to its versatile packaging and its compact on-road footprint.
So what you've been looking at there is Kia unveiling the new Picanto at the Geneva Motor Show earlier last year. And because it's all on internet tape and we have a Picanto this week, we thought we'd let Mr. Michael here lead the narrative of this week's review.
The Picanto has always been distinctive, but the exterior styling of this third generation model is bolder, including a wider tiger nose grille that now connects the headlamps, creating a really strong impression unlike any other city car.
Okay, so the Picanto has always been distinctive, but not always in a good way. Here's 2004's Picanto. Now 2011's Picanto was much better, and clearly Kia realised it was onto a good thing with it. So this new one is not really that much different. In fact, it looks more like a facelift really than an all-new car.
The same bold approach continues inside too, with a high-tech and high-quality cabin that you would normally expect only from a vehicle in a higher segment. New Picanto is the first car in its class with a floating touchscreen infotainment system.
No, it's attached.
Offering the latest in-car technology features such as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as a wireless smartphone charger.
Wow, floating touchscreen, Apple Android Play, a class above. Sounds like being in a new Picanto is more like lounging in a palatial diorama from the future than it is driving about in a budget city car. And so, ta-da! Does look better in real life. Really though, as tiny cars like this go, it is lovely. Arguably the best one. Not only because it's designed tastefully and with some intriguing flourishes like these oval air vents, but because it's intuitive. Floating or otherwise, the screen works really well, as in it's easy to fathom. And the driving position, well, it's a great design. Car's tall and spacious, and even though on paper the driving position has a limited adjustment, you can't change the seat height or pull the steering wheel towards you. You can tell that Kia spent loads of time working on making this driving position suitable for all. This is a comfortable car to drive.
New Picanto has one of the most spacious cabins in the A segment and a larger boot than every other rival, but it still retains the same overall dimensions that make it so easy to drive and to park in the city.
As tiny cars go, it's pretty practical, yes. It has noticeably more oddman space in the cabin than most city cars do, and one or two really interesting features, like these rotating cup holders that you can rotate out of the way when you don't need them. Also, the boot is a bit bigger than what's average in the class. For comparison, it'll hold a lot more than this similarly priced rucksack. And what the rucksack doesn't have is excellent headspace for 5 adults. Yep, unlike, for example, the Volkswagen Up, the Picanto has 3 proper rear seat belts, which means you can get 3 adults in the back, albeit they'll all have to be of the Peter Crouch bodily persuasion. A 60-40 splitting rear bench is standard too, although only those hoity-toity enough to be buying at the top end of the Picanto spectrum are deemed worthy of an adjustable boot floor. They're good because it's easier to put your posh bag over the big boot lip, innit?
Whilst a stronger body, the greater use of advanced high-strength steel and autonomous emergency braking all ensure improved safety.
But he says that, but Euro NCAP disagrees? Because while Euro NCAP gave the 2011 Picanto a 4-star rating, this one gets just a 3, and its score goes down in 3 of the 4 categories that Euro NCAP uses. And while it's true that the test gets more stringent all the time, it's extremely rare to see a car model go backwards like this. For example, the
autonomous emergency braking
isn't standard fit, which it is in an Up.
The Picanto's range of lightweight gasoline engines, including Kia's newest 1-litre turbo GDI engine, provide the lithe responses that customers demand.
He's right, although he did say lithe. I prefer listen. Either way, it's true. The last Picanto was brilliant to drive. If it's just thin-tired, high-revving, sort of on-the-door handles driving fun you're after, this does that really well. And this is no different, really. It's still the sort of car that positively encourages you to find out what the limits of grip are at the front end, because you know that you can do so without putting yourself in grave danger. Like dinner's in the boot, but I don't even care because this is so much fun. Check this out. It makes you make skinny noises like you did when you were a kid. And going back to the engines, they're okay too. Like, this is a GT line car, so it has a top of the range 1.25 petrol. There's no diesel, like, which is no loss. And although it's quicker than the 1 litre petrol on paper, for me it doesn't have as much character. And if you're not going to have any pace, your engine might as well sound like it does, which is what a 3-cylinder gives you.
And with its low emissions, Picanto will sit very comfortably alongside Kia's growing range of eco-friendly cars like the Nero and Optima hybrid, plug-in hybrid that we have on our stand today.
Bit of a potential problem here. On paper, the economy of the engines is pretty good. Nothing special, but okay. But we know that in reality, you can probably expect your Picanto to punch well below its weight. Now, I know that for 2 reasons. The first one is that I ran a 2011 Picanto for a while and the economy that I've got was atrocious. Anecdotal. But the other reason is that my experience is verified by our real MPG stats, which you can go and have a look at HonestJohn.co.uk. The chances are this one will be the same. Time will tell. Still, you know, that might be linked to what I was saying earlier about the way this car encourages you to drive. Drive carefully and you should be alright. Also, drive carefully and you will find this to be a very competent little runabout. See, because it's not just good at the stuff you expect it to be good at, running about around town, light steering, small dimensions, that sort of thing. It's actually surprisingly at home on the motorway for such a small car. Not much tyre noise, not much wind noise, nice settled ride quality. In that sense, it's a big improvement over the last Picanto. And because the suspension's on the soft side, although it can be a little bit bouncy at times, which you might be seeing now, it's good over the potholes.
Inspired by the design of Kia's sportier GT models, a new GT line specification is available from launch during the 2nd quarter of this year.
Spec then. Love Kia's trim levels. You know where you stand. It goes 1, 2, 3, plus the GT line stuff you've just heard about, and then the odd special edition, you know, to keep things. So if you have a number 1, you're going to feel like you're in a budget city car. Tiny steel wheels, minging lukewarm air coming out the blowers, 2-speaker tin pot stereo, that sort of thing. So you're going to want to have a number 2 because having a number 2 is much more satisfying. It has the alloy wheels, it has the body colour door mirrors, the rear speakers for the skinny people in the back, and of course the all-important cold air. Bare minimum stuff in 2018. 3 starts to feel very well equipped and more like the palatial runabout that Mr. Michael was alluding to before. But 3's a boring number, so let's move on. You know, ultimately this is just a little car that's extremely easy to recommend. Looks class, is interesting, is affordable, is easy to drive, is practical, has no notable weaknesses. So, Kia Picanto, people, quite possibly the best city car that you can buy today. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate your views and your comments. Keep them coming. Please subscribe to the channel and we'll see you soon.